Here is something nobody prepares you for when shining. Not everybody's gonna celebrate you because tall puppies, they get cut down. Every group has this invisible hierarchy, and when someone starts to outperform and shine, it brings tension in the group. Not because it's wrong, but because the position shifts. As humans, we're wired to belong, and when we don't, that feels unsafe. And so what tends to happen a lot is when you outperform, you can get backlash. People can start judging you or making it hard or call you names, etc., etc. And so the person that's outperforming can either, you know, cut down their own brilliance and, not perform anymore, not reach their genius level because they're too afraid of what people will say. Or, they have to face those fears of being rejected by the group. Why? Because belonging often feels safer than standing out. So often, what do? They shrink. They downplay their success. They soften their voice. Yesterday, I picked my little one up from jiu-jitsu, and he truly is very gifted in that sport. He's so gifted that his teacher told us a few months ago, like, hey, he outperforms his age group, so we're gonna put him to the big kids. So he now has a group with 10-year-olds and even older kids. And he's just 7. And what happened last night when I picked him up was he was crying. He was crying because one of the boys had him in a very strong grip, and he wasn't gripping. He wasn't letting go of that grip when he tapped out. And he said, instead of giving 50% force, that boy was giving 100% force, and it really hurt his neck. And he also confessed that sometimes they make remarks, like, oh, you're just a baby, you're 5-year-old, and treating him like he is not one of them, because they actually know each other. All the bigger kids, they are friends, they know each other for a long time, and so he kind of is a little bit the outcast of the group. When he started jiu-jitsu, he started in his age group, and that was with his friends, so obviously that was more fun for him as well. And so while he was really upset about the pain in his neck, he was also expressing sadness about them calling him names sometimes. And for his father and I, it was very clear of what was truly going on here. Yeah, this is nature. Here comes this kid who is a bit shorter and younger, but he has great potential. He has great technique, and basically beating their ass. And for them, it's like, hey, I cannot lose against a 7-year-old, So they use more strength, and they want to push him down because they're like, hey, I need to protect my own position here. And his father said something so beautiful. He said, end of the day, Figo, you have to choose, because eventually they will stop with doing jiu-jitsu. But I know you really love the sport and you really have talent for the sport. So do you want to stop going because of them? Or do you want to continue going? Because eventually they will stop anyway, they will be interested in something else. But this is really your passion. And it made me think of this concept of how humans are wired. As a young kid, I experienced very similar things, but I did not have parents that could guide me through it. My mom was guiding me more through be tough and all of that. But because I and his father have this maturity of, hey, we see how humans are wired, we give him the tools and for him to make that decision for himself. Like, hey, do you want to stop going, which is fine, we will support that? Or are you open to see what's really going on, the true dynamic that's going on, so that you can actually sympathize with the boys too, because they're just being boys, and they're just acting from nature, because humans are wired that way. And then suddenly, then you just see it for what it is. It's for him to choose if he wants to stop shining and outperforming and basically dull his own light to feel safe in the group, but then also, not reaching his full potential. Or if he consciously is willing to be like, okay, they may not always like me because I am a threat, because I'm younger and I'm very talented, but I will still show up as me. And obviously we will engage his teacher in this, so that he can make sure that he understands the dynamic that's going on. But I thought it was a very interesting thing, especially because I can now be that parent that can guide him through that dynamic. We are so afraid to outshine. We're so afraid to stand out. It's because people will feel threatened. But we still have a choice there. Will we let that happen? In Dutch, we have this beautiful saying. In Dutch, we say, hoge bomen vangen veel wind, which basically means, like literally translated, high trees, they catch more wind. So when you stand out, you stand out, you catch more wind. It's just part of it. So what if you just accept that for what it is and then learn how to deal with that? But whatever you do, not shrink. Whatever you do, not hide, not fight back. Just continue showing up and basically build stronger roots so you can keep on standing. And that's exactly how we are raising our son. But the real question is, can you stay visible while your nervous system wants to hide? I help people build that nervous system so that they can handle being seen. More information about that and all the ways you can work with me in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching.